Caleb here. I'm gonna do something a little different with this book because anybody who's been listening to the Red Knot stuff absolutely knows that I despise the Sins of Sailing series. I absolutely hate these books. And you'll know that I did the first book, I did the third book, then I did the first book. And then I didn't post anymore because for around Easter, I decided to do the second book so I could get the entire series over with. I got so pissed and upset during the first chapter that I just took the book and I threw it somewhere into the living room, and I didn't go to find it until like hours later. The reason why I got super upset was because the book, as we sort of have established in, I believe it was the first book, might have been the third one, but the character is, while she hasn't come right out and say that the main character is atheist, it's clear that the main character really, while had a religious upbringing, really herself isn't religious at all. Which is okay, I am not one of those people who will, bullshit, atheist, oh my god. I'm not that kind of person. I might be Christian, but I'm pretty easygoing and tolerant as long as you're not a dickbag. The problem with the Sins of Sailing books is that the main character is a dickbag. And I hate this book series, I hate this character, and fuck this book series. But anyway, I'm getting into a tangent. I just simply want to state, before I go into what I've recorded of the book, since I've decided to take a super duper long break from this very shitty series before I finish it off and continue reading, because as much as I would love to just post that, my reaction of reading the first chapter and just being like, I'm done, this is bullshit, I'm done, and just post that as the ending. I thought it would be better to talk about my feelings about religion before I post that, because I'm gonna have a lot of editing to do, because I was just so mad that I just constantly ranted about religion and how religion is portrayed and all this crap, and I need to do my best to channel this in a semi-logical, not angry-ish way. Just to get my piece out, just to get the intro done with, and then we can go right back to reading this piece of shit series and finish it off. So, in case you missed it, Caleb, who is me, is Christian. I am very religious. I'm not all that conservative, I guess. I'm quite flexible in my views. I have said so in several different points throughout my various different shows. I am pretty much okay with you as long as you are not an asshole. I am fine. You can be Muslim, you can be Jewish, you can even be an atheist. I don't care. Just don't be an asshole to other people and respect other people's opinions and beliefs. That's all I ask of you, and me and you can enjoy our time here on Earth and go about our day. It would be nice if you shared my opinions and beliefs, but I don't expect you to, because everybody is different. And as a religious person, I understand that God interacts with us in many different ways. And all of us are individuals, and we all have different things going on in our lives that we have to deal with. And it's going to happen in a different way for you than it is for me or for my neighbors, or for the ladies at church. You get what I'm saying? So, religious or not, we're all individuals and we all have to do stuff in our own way. Okay. Got that out. Got that part done. The thing that I'm really getting sick and tired of, and I've been noticing it a lot, and you will rarely, or maybe it's just my experience, but despite living in the South, in the Bible Belt itself, it's really damn hard to find anything positive in current media about religion. Any religion. Be it Christian, be it Muslim, especially Muslim. But be it Christian, Muslim, Jewish, pagan, Wiccan, any religion you could be. It is damn hard to find something positive. Let me think of how to phrase it. To not be shown to the casual average Joe and Jane watching TV or going to see a movie or reading a book, to be portrayed as a sane person. It is damn hard to find that. Because if you try to go and find Christian productions for Christians and to help, people understand the faith better and to, and maybe introduce them to God and they get to know God and stuff, all that good stuff, it's really kind of fakey and forced because you want to portray how God helps you and changes your life, but it's like they don't really understand how to do it in a realistic manner. This is something I try very hard to do with Yu-Gi-Oh! In my comic, because Yu-Gi-Oh! Is on that verge of, he might be a priest, but what does it really mean to believe? What is faith? And what does he feel is belief and faith and all that crap? But anyway, I'm getting off topic. So you have that, but it's kind of feels fake. And then you also have the extremist bullshit that is definitely crap. That is totally not real religious belief. It is bullshit. Like Westboro Baptist Church, or however the fuck you say that. Those people are nut jobs. That is not Christian. That is not religious anything. They're wackos. They are not representatives of us or God. Remember that. That is fundamental knowledge right there. They are not representative of anything good. They are crazy. That aside, I am not blind to the fact that there are crazy people who swear they are religious. And they are doing things on behalf of God. Hell, I love Silent Hill. I love Silent Hill. Your main antagonist is a crazy cult. It's a religious cult. But I enjoy the game. It's a good story. And it's a crazy cult. But my point is, why does it always, in a book, in a TV show, in anything, why are religious people always portrayed as crazy nut jobs? I'm getting really sick of it because it's pretty much everywhere. And that seems like the general consensus now of anybody who has supernatural beliefs. I don't get it. And quite frankly, I find it offensive. And I especially find it offensive in a book series written by, I guess, an atheist lady. I don't know what her personal theology is. But considering the character is pretty much atheist with a Christian upbringing, and the book is painting the first thing that happens, without too many spoilers, is it's an extremist, religious, environmentalist group. And that's the first thing. And I am just so sick and tired of that crap being everywhere. Where is the good Christian guy? Where is the good Christian girl? Or the good Muslim girl? Or the good Muslim guy? Where's the Jewish guy? Where's the Jewish girl? Where are the religious people who aren't portrayed as if they're fucking crazy? Where are they? 'Cause they ain't in any shit I've recently read or watched. It's disturbing to think that simply because I am religious, I am therefore a crazy nutjob extremist. Of any kind, of any religion, of even made up bullshit that I could pull out of my ass and swear that's a belief in religion. Crazy people exist everywhere. They exist in anime fandom, they exist in your workplace, they exist when you go and get your food from the drive-in at McDonald's. There are crazy people everywhere into all the same shit everybody else is in. Sane people exist everywhere else that everybody else is in. There are crazy people who love rock and roll. There are sane people who love rock and roll. There are crazy people who swear that they love books. There are sane people who love books. There are crazy people who swear they're religious and wouldn't know God if he showed up and smacked them in the face and told them they're fucking crazy. And then there are sane people, like myself, who get stereotyped in fucking movies and fucking pieces of shit books for being a psychotic, crazy nut job. Because how dare I be religious? It's horrible. It's stupid. It's offensive. And it's disgusting. Anybody, religious or otherwise, should be highly offended that out of any possible good portrayals of our beliefs are frankly unheard of in comparison to being stereotyped and portrayed as crazy people who should be locked up in an insane asylum and never heard of from again. Again, I know crazy people exist who swear that they are religious and will praise God for the death of people in abortion clinic bombings and thank God that Katrina came and killed all these people and flooded and everything. And I know this bullshit. They're not religious. They are not us. They want no goodness and God or any damn thing. They are not us. Stop portraying us as crazy fucktards. Okay? Just stop it. That is what is bothering me so much. This is why I got pissed and threw the damn book across my house. So, I hope this little talk helps somebody out there come to terms with any stereotypes or bias that they may have towards a religious person or towards how somebody's faith or lack of faith is portrayed in media, and that they actually start thinking about it and just stop writing us like this, because it is very offensive, and I'm so sick and tired of it. So sick and tired of it. And I want to get the ranting out of the way so that I can just stop myself and just cut it out while I'm reading this shitty ass book. Because it is shit. Don't ever read The Sins of Sailing. They are awful. They are terrible. And they will just make you so upset. let's get this out of the way so I can forget it exists. And if I ever find out she has written another book for the Sins of Sailing, which she's working on, if I do recall, I will pick it up, I will read it for Red Knot, and then I will proceed to chuck it out of my window, perhaps burn it. Hey guys, it's Kayla back again with more Red Knot, and we're still reading this shitty book series, so I'm very embittered about that. Let's just get this donkey show on the road. This is bullcrap, and I just want to get it done. Sins of Betrayal by Valerie Wilcox. We already know this book sucks. The cover is like inside of a cabin. Yeah, nothing fancy about that. Once again, there's something at the top, but Dollar General sticker blocks it, so who gives a shit? Publishers Weekly called Valerie Wilcox' debut mystery Sins of Silence distinctive and intriguing and enraging. Now her sleuthing sailing instructor returns in a thrilling new adventure of bullshit. A run of bad weather means a slow season at Lardstad's Marina in Seattle, home of Kelly Montgomery's Sound Sailing Offices. I didn't realize she employed herself in more than one office. But Mother Nature isn't the only source of an ill wind. A day that starts with Kelly being held at gunpoint by delusional environmentalists, because that's a thing that happens, ends with the news that her friend Pearl, a hardy and wealthy 75-year-old seafarer, is missing. As Kelly prepares to do battle with an extremist group who wants liveaboards like herself ousted from their sailing boat homes. Why? Is this a thing that happens? 'Cause I'm calling bullshit right now on that. That's ridiculous. That's right, kitty cat. She also takes on the task of finding her friend. Then, when Pearl's family doesn't seem to welcome her help, Kelly's determination and her suspicion, as well as her pure bullshit, which doesn't belong here, is piqued even further. Navigating a maze of foul play, Kelly soon finds new truth to the old adage, when it rains, it pours. Oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad because I've been avoiding reading this for like 4 days now. And I have to read it. I have to. Praise for Valerie Wilcox and her debut sailing mystery Sins of Silence. I think I read all this last time. More paid bullshit to endorse your book because we didn't really read it. So I'm skipping over that crap because I'm just not going to waste the time. Sins of Betrayal title page, dedication page, acknowledgement page, title page again. Oh, 36 pages of bullshit. Caleb can do this. We can do this. On the water, everything is clear. It is a gift for the soul, a clarity born of sea and salt air that touches the small inner voice within us that has been too long silenced by the chaos of life. It is a gift that heals, that gives us power to rid ourselves of confusion, worry, guilt, and regret, that gives us faith in ourselves and our dreams. Not really, unless you're into sailing like this person's supposed to be, but whatever. But if we refuse to heed the gift of clarity, if we deny the inner voice that tells us who we are, then we will wither and die before our time. For when we kill the dream within us, we kill ourselves. Oh, you are so fucking philosophical. I just butchered that word. I'm not going to try to say it again. Oh, for those who don't know, this could be your first video. I've read the third and the first books in the Sailing Mystery series. I hate these things. I don't care if we're trying a fresh approach or whatever the hell we're doing. These books suck, and I'm already not looking forward to this because I raged through the first two. We may be breathing, and the blood may be flowing through our veins, but it is not living. It is merely business disguised as living, from children who are shuttled from one organized activity to another without a single moment's supply to be themselves, to play, or to let their imaginations run free, to adults who scurry from store to store, buying whatever their money or credit will allow, in the false hope that material acquisitions will somehow deaden their pain. Pain of fucking what? There's no reason for this bullshit. Why are you opening with this crap? This is a murder mystery, not a philosophy book, and what are we even philosophizing about? There's no reason for this in here. My cat thinks I'm yelling at her, so she's hissing me. This is so stupid. What point does this serve? What point does this have? None. Absolutely zero. The pain may go away for a while, but it always returns, for nothing can satisfy the dream unfilled, a life unlived. There's no reason why does every book start with some kind of philosophical message? You're not this intelligent. It's a mystery story. We're not philosophizing. I keep screwing up that word. I don't care. On the water, everything is clear. Yes, you've stated this. It gives us power to climb the wind and soar. Not really. You want to be happy, Kelly, darling? Then find the wind. Find where it's coming from and where it's going. For it's only when your boat has a bellyful wind in her sails and her hull is ripping through the sea and the salt spray is stinging your face that you will know you're alive. You will know you know who you are and where you're going. You will know your dream. Really? You're going to try to throw this at us? You don't know who you are until you're on the seas. This is the same person who tried to say a yacht was a stink pot. Yeah, like there was some kind of elitist group against motorized craft, like somehow they were so inferior because they were motorized. Who does that? I mean, there's no difference between a boat with an engine and a boat without. It's still a boat, and you're still on the water. Either you're doing it for recreational reasons, or because you're that's your employment. Heathen bitch! Thank you! Everybody should open with that line regarding this protagonist. Thank you so much. That suddenly makes me feel better. And I usually don't like calling people bitches or bastards. Actually, the name's Kelly Montgomery. Sinner slut! How does this have to do anything with environmentalism? Let alone boats. Sailboats at that. Which, if we're talking about some crazy environmentalist dude, I can understand that person being upset about motorized craft, but not your fucking sailing instructor. The guy calling me names was crazy. Well, no shit. That he was also dangerous hadn't occurred to me until he whittled his way into my office. There's a guy calling you all sorts of horrible names, words I don't use unless I'm very angry or I'm joking, which is two extremes there. You don't know he's dangerous, and he's coming right at you, yelling these obscenities at you. But you didn't know he was dangerous. Why aren't the security doing something? Don't you have security at a marina? Can't you call the cops and have this guy escorted off the property? He's being rude, offensive, and pretty much disrupting business. Whatever, we've already well established that the author and the protagonist... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to stoop there because I'm not going to call the author names, but the protagonist is stupid. By the time the name-calling started, it was too late to reconsider. You just said he somehow got into your... Whatever. He persuaded me to open the door by claiming he wanted to sign up for sailing lessons, which sounded reasonable enough considering I run a sailing school. The part about God having personally sent him to my doorstep should have set off a few warning bells, but apparently it didn't. But it was 6 o'clock on a rainy Sunday morning, and I wasn't thinking too clearly. Okay, I wasn't thinking at all. Can we please kill off the main character in the first chapter? Can we please kill her off so I don't have to read 2 more chapters of this crap? I'd come into the office at that distasteful hour, out of some perverse notion that if I were in the office making like a workaholic, I might actually have something to do. It was May and the opening of boating season, but Seattle's bustling winter-like spring had turned off even the die-hard sailing enthusiast. After 2 weeks of steady rain, the only thing still dry at Lordstad's Marina was my bank account. So I wasn't about to ask too many questions of a potential customer, crazy or not. The first sign that something is wrong, that you are uncomfortable in this situation, you boot his ass out and call the cops. You don't put yourself in a dangerous situation. You're a fucking idiot. He looked rather endearing when he first came to the door, dressed in a gray woolen sweater with elbow patches, a wrinkled white shirt, and garish plaid trousers that stopped just short of his bare ankles. This sounds like he just randomly put clothes on. This doesn't really sound like somebody who knows how to wear clothes. He reminded me of an aging, absent-minded college professor I once had. The poor man seemed tired, as if his clothes were too heavy for his short, wiry frame to carry. And despite the soggy weather, he wore no hat or coat, which, combined with the unruly white frizz atop his head, gave him a distinctly wet and wild look, albeit, yes, Albert Einstein on crack. Have you ever seen Albert Einstein? He probably was on crack. He looks like he's on crack all the time, or at least his hair does, like in most pictures, it's just like, pfft. Once inside, he shook himself off like a dog, plopped a battered leather briefcase on my desk, and sat down in the chair opposite of me. Oh, now we're flashing back in this current scene that's going on. Instead of having that philosophical bullshit at the beginning, just jump into this flashback, and then work your way up. Why are you flashbacking now? You already told us that some guy's in your office calling you a slut. I don't want to read this crap. I have to. God sent me, he said again. A gust of wind rattled the front window pane as if to emphasize the point. Yes, sir. Who was I to argue, considering all the rain we've had lately? His name was probably Noah. I rifled through my file drawer and found a standard registration from which I slid across the desk. Let's get you registered, I said eagerly. He pushed up his wide-rimmed glasses with the tip of his index finger and considered the form. Taking his time, he puffed thoughtfully on the mestrium pipe he'd pulled from his shirt pocket. What? Okay. As I waited, a lazy spiral smoke drifted from his pipe and filled the room up with the sweet smell of cherries. When he finally looked up, his face was color of gutter water, whatever that means, and carried an expression as blank as the paper in front of him was. Oh, this is going to be so hate-inducing. Just gotta make it past this stupidity. I just have to make it past. Oh, I'm sorry, I said. Where was my brain? You'll need a pen. I grabbed a couple from my lopsided ceramic pot cum. C-U-M, pot cum. Pencil holder that my daughter had made eons ago. So she made you a pot for cum pencils, or whatever you're trying to say to me here. But he declined the offer. That won't be necessary, he said, digging into his briefcase. He hadn't impressed me as the fussy type, but Lord Sets Maria tends to attract a more upscale clientele. It wasn't uncommon for my students to eschew the cheap ballpoints I carry in favor of their own Mont Blancs. It was just a simple registration form, but if it made him feel better to use his own pen, so be it. Whatever floats your boat. You're an idiot. This whole situation doesn't seem odd to you. So not odd, in fact, that you have to start with the present and then flash back immediately in the... I crammed the pens back in the pot just as he found what he was looking for in his briefcase. Only it wasn't a Mont Blanc that he now held in his hand. It was a Colt 45. Please kill this main character so I don't have to read this book. I knew the weapon well, having taken a bullet from one a few months back. Because you're stupid. Another instance of misjudging a dangerous situation, or getting yourself into a dangerous situation that you don't need to be poking your nose into. Because we do this. Seriously, look at the first Sins of Silence that I did. That's exactly what she did. Had no business being anywhere in this. Just inserts herself into it because why not? She's the main character. He aimed the pistol at me. You can cut the chatter now. I don't want sailing lessons. Well, I think that was pretty obvious once he said God sent me. Which, why you didn't start questioning him then baffles me. But you already stated that you're well aware you're an idiot. So I don't have to keep saying this. If it's money you're after, feel free to help yourself. I motioned to my handbag lying on top of the file cabinet. There's not much cash, and the credit cards are tapped out. But hey, it's all yours. Because I can just casually say this. Why? Normal people are like, holy shit, there's a guy with a gun pointed at me. I'm scared speechless. No, protagonist lady's chatterbox. Why are you our main character again? Why aren't you dead already? He glared at me indigently. God doesn't want your money. Tell that to the televangelists. Well, what does he want? A smug smile. That's for me to know and you to find out. Or to actually explain it to her so that you can convert her, which is kind of the point of witnessing. But what would this author know? Suddenly I lowered my hands and rubbed my shoulder. Just looking down at the barrel of the Colt had been enough to cause the pain of my old injury to flare up. Enough to cause the flare up again. I winced, but Noah didn't seem to notice. So we just named this guy Noah. We didn't establish it or anything. We're just calling this guy Noah. You're kind of insulting me, lady. In case you didn't notice it, why am I taking insult from somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about? Just forget about it and keep reading. Also, why are you putting your hands down? That gives him a reason to shoot you because he can't see your hands. I winced, but Noah didn't seem to notice. He leaned back in his chair, the pistol ever vigilant. Well, he said, you didn't ask her a question or to reply. You just said that's for her to find out. Which means then you shoot her. Dumbass. It's Dark Link all over again. We all wanted Dark Link to kill Jenna, and he didn't. He's fail of a hero. At 40, I was too old to be playing games, especially at the point of a gun. Well, what? I replied. What do you think God wants? You didn't ask her until now, and you expected her to answer. Despite my parents' best efforts, I never considered myself particularly religious. Despite last book, we were actually praying and reciting Hail Mary. Or I think it was Hail Mary. I kind of forget, but it was Catholicism. Now you're suddenly not very religious? What the crap? If you're not very religious, don't put religion in your book. Okay? Okay. My father was a devout Catholic. My mother was an equally devout Mormon. I'm not 100% sure, but don't both of these versions of religion have to marry somebody of their own faith or convert? I mean, granted, stuff's pretty lax now, but, anybody who knows more about Mormons and Catholics than I do, being a Protestant, feel free to inform me. I could have just made myself look totally stupid there, I don't know. Which meant I'd spent most of my formative years shuffling between one church or the other. But I abandoned church-going altogether after my parents were killed when I was 13. The confusion caused by their untimely deaths, plus the unresolved issues surrounding their battles over which church represented God's one true religion, had left me spiritually bereft. I had no idea what this guy or God could possibly want. I take back that I shouldn't bother to be insulted by the use of religion here. Anybody who is even vaguely religious, maybe even vaguely spiritual, don't buy these books. This is insulting. This is really upsetting. Not because we're presented with a suddenly atheist main character, but because the author is using religion so lightly, as if it's not important and doesn't matter. I'm a very pro-acceptance, pro-tolerance person. God chooses different paths for us. Not everybody is going to be on the same path. Some people have to be Muslim. Some people have to be Christian. Some people might need a more naturalist path. Some people might need more one-on-one time with God, while some people are, pretty much doing what they're supposed to and don't need that much one-on-one time with God and His Word. Some people choose to absolutely ignore God and believe that there is no God. I disagree with that, but I'm not going to tell you you're wrong because that's something you have to decide for yourself. But this is just insulting. Every book I find something I cannot stand. Sins of Deception? I could not stand the betrayal of cops. Nobody knew how stuff worked, and everything was written in a passive tone. Sins of Silence, the main character is complete Sue. It's my inner life all over again. Right now, with Sins of Betrayal, my problem is how we're portraying somebody who is clearly crazy, but also is religious. And we're half-assing it. 'Cause now suddenly we have a character who demonstrated in Sins of Silence that she still somewhat had belief, because she never said anything about being atheist and not praying for these people on a boat, which she knew they were dead somehow. But now we're strictly stating that she's an atheist and doesn't believe. That's not how religious people work. You either believe or you do not. You don't waver back and forth. People who waver back and forth are the ones who aren't sure what they believe or what they think about the afterlife, if there is one or not, if there is a higher power or not. Those people are searching. Here, we're just our first introduction to somebody religious, even they're crazy. They're not the same person. They're immediately crazy. Her parents couldn't decide what was right and wrong. Apparently they were wrong too, because they couldn't pick one. Guys, don't read these books. Don't read any of these books. I'm tempted just to go ahead and say, fuck it. I'm not reading 3 chapters of this. Because every book there does not take me long. I will instantly rage. This author, she's all over the place. I don't know what she thinks she's writing. She's all over the place. I'm really tempted to rage quit now because of this religious thing. Because I am very religious, and like I said, I'm very pro-tolerance and acceptance. It's what Jesus did. He taught the people who wanted to hear, and the people who didn't heard the message but turned away. The point is to not teach those who already know and understand, but teach those who need to hear it. And just because... why am I going into all this religious stuff now? I'm just going to cut all this out and just say this. The author is all over the place. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She is clearly very against religion, because the only instance of religion use in 4 pages is a crazy guy, and the mentioning of her parents, one Catholic, one Mormon, who couldn't even decide which church to follow. This is your opinion of religious people. And even then, you don't know what God wants? Your parents were religious, and you don't know what God wants. Even some atheists get this. You don't be a douchebag. Help others. Take care of each other. Give when you can. Give even if you can't. Don't hate people. Accept people for who they are. People fuck up. Forgive them anyway, because no amount of sorry is going to fix that. And when you fuck up, you admit to it. And you say, I'm sorry, I was wrong. Even though sorry does not fix everything. How do you miss this message? How do you miss it? You want to have an atheist character? That's fine. It is okay to have an atheist character. Is it something I'm interested in reading about? Not really. But if you're not an asshole about your atheist character, I don't have to get mad at you. And I have friends who are atheists. I have friends who are just spiritual. I have friends that are also Christian. I watch a guy who's Muslim. I watch several people who don't really know what to think, so they're just like, well, I don't really say I'm atheist. I don't really say I'm religious. This is stupid. I had no idea what this guy or God could possibly want, but I struggled to think of something that might placate both of them. My mind drew a blank. I'm not sure. He frowned, fizzy white eyebrows arched at me menacingly. He yanked the pipe out of his mouth and slammed onto the desk. Unacceptable! He shouted, waving the gun wildly with the other hand. Try again. Why should she? She just said she don't know. And you point blank told her that was for him, that was for you to know and her to find out. So why don't you just tell her? Usually when crazy people show up, they have some kind of demand. I flinched at his outburst, feeling like a disobedient child who disappointed her teacher. Because you feel like that when somebody's got a gun pointed at your face and they're clearly not in the right state of mind. Obedience, I ventured timidly. Excellent. He rewarded my scholarship with a crooked, toothy grin. Crooked, I think I said crooked, it's crooked. A piece of gristle or something clung to one of his incisors. Because you noticed that? And what else? He asked, working out the irritant with the tip of his tongue. Wait, so he's pointing the gun at himself. in his mouth. Having exhausted the store of my knowledge of things godly, I hemmed and hawed for a few more uncomfortable seconds. Then the phone rang, startling us both. Without thinking, I said, "You're really gonna say this? To a crazy person, whatever." Without thinking, I said, "That must be God now." Bizarre as it sounded to my own ears, Noah seemed to accept the suggestion as perfectly plausible. He waited while I answered. Hello, I said. "Kelly, it was my sister, Mary Kathleen." "You sound strange," she said. "Did I catch you at a bad time?" That she should be calling me at 6 o'clock on a Sunday morning seemed almost bizarre as having God on the line. I don't know, well, physically, yeah, you can't just call God up and be like, "Hey, how you doing?" But, well, whatever, I'll get into the whole theological thing whenever. Kate is one of those people whose biorhythms are more in tune with night owls, bats, and teenagers. If it's before noon, it's too soon, could have been her theme song. Yes, God, we were just talking about you. Her sister's going to be like, what the crap? Noah nodded agreeably. "God? That's right. Your messenger came as you requested. In fact, he's sitting in front of me as we speak." What are you talking about?" "No problem, God. Always good to hear from you." I glanced at Noah with a reassuring smile. "And I thought I was Looney Tunes in the morning." She laughed. "What the hell's the matter with you?" "You can't. Your sister's a dumbass. She can't clue in that somebody crazy is in your office. Why else would... Also, who uses the phrase, 'and I thought I was Looney Tunes in the morning'? Do you not know how actual people speak? I would think you have friends. I would think you have family, that you would interact with them." She said, laughing, "What the hell's the matter with you? He asked me to explain what you want, but the gun he's pointing at me is too distracting." Noah blinked nervously, but kept the Colt steady. "Gun? Kelly, are you in some kind of trouble?" "By Jove, I think she's got it." Really? Can't say fuck this, gotta read it. "Yes, definitely." "Oh shit, listen sis, I'm going to hang up and get some help, okay? I understand." I kept on talking to the dial tone after she disconnected. "Yes, sir, I'll be sure to tell him." You know what? Screw this. Fuck this. I'm not reading this crap. Fuck the series. I'm outright saying it. Fuck it. I'm not reading it. It's downright offensive. Fuck that story. So, you get 30 minutes of Caleb complaining about portrayal of religion in a story. It's bullshit. I'm not reading it. I just threw it across the room. It's sitting on my rug, and I'm probably gonna burn it later. In a crazy religious rally, because that's what us crazy religious people do. Because we're all crazy, and we don't know we can't pick a one true doctrine and all this shit stuff. I'm not reading it. I'm not reading any more of it. Valerie Wilcox can write all the books she wants. I will tell everybody not to read them because she is not a very good author. In fact, she sucks. And her tone changes every book. She has no steady tone. And instead, I'm going to go just stop this recording. I'm going to go make myself happy. And then I'm going to come back and read Swords Point. Because I'm sure that's 1,000 times better than the crap I just had to read 4 pages of. Okay, thanks, bye. This has been Caleb and Red Knot. Bye! I'm going to go to church now.